In tonight's Coronation Street, Carla Connor, Allison King, had a major surgery, leaving her loved ones anxiously awaiting word on her condition. Since the beginning of the year, the factory manager has been battling a terrible struggle with her health. Now, after months of uncertainty, her future depended on a risky kidney transplant, which came with deadly risks and unforeseen repercussions. Carla's health crisis started earlier this year when she was taken to the hospital and given a diagnosis of sepsis, a serious infection that rapidly weakened her body. She really needed a kidney transplant because of the severe damage to her kidney. Carla had no other choice but to look to an unlikely source: Rob Donovan, Mark Bayless, her estranged brother. Rob was not a perfect donor, both morally and physiologically, having served years in prison for Tina McIntyre's murder. Carla had severed her relationship with him years ago, and their friendship had been strained for years. Desperation, however, left her with no other option as her situation deteriorated. Carla prepared herself for a lengthy wait when Rob consented to get tested to determine whether he was a match. However, nothing could have prepared her for the ensuing course of events. Carla was shocked to learn that Rob was a match, and even more unexpectedly, the procedure could happen the next day. She was unaware, though, that the transplant had nearly failed before she even got the good news. Rob experienced an allergic reaction while undergoing testing in the hospital, but he took advantage of the situation to get away. He intended to sneak away undetected with the aid of his ex-prison guard girlfriend Mandy, endangering Carla's final hope of surviving. Here comes DS Lisa Swain, Vicky Myers, the astute investigator who has been a pain in the side of numerous offenders. Lisa swiftly pieced together Rob's plan after arriving at the hospital in time to discover his scheme. When Lisa realized Carla's life was in jeopardy, she took a risk that might alter the course of events. Lisa was aware that Rob had no plans to return to prison. She took advantage of that and made a deal with the condemned murderer. She would assist in overturning his conviction if he consented to the transplant. Rob was unable to resist the startling suggestion. Lisa pledged to find proof that he was coerced into admitting by the investigator who initially worked on his case. Rob, however, wasn't going to believe her. He insisted that she record their talk as insurance and requested proof. He would remove the recording if Lisa fulfilled her half of the bargain, and they would both be exonerated. Lisa hesitantly agreed, not wanting to spend any more time. Never before had the stakes been so high. One mistake might cost her everything. Right now, though, it was just a matter of making sure Carla got to surgery. Carla was delivered yet another devastating blow while she lay in her hospital bed, her nerves frazzled and her doubt mounting. A doctor showed up with some shocking news. There was a hold-up. Immediately, panic struck. Had Rob decided against it? Was he retreating? It was intolerable to think that she was so close to having a life-saving procedure, only to have it fall through her fingers. Carla, desperate for information, insisted on knowing Lisa's location. Unbeknownst to her, Lisa and Rob were still engaged in a power struggle to keep Rob from abandoning the transplant. Lisa was forced to film their chat as he had requested, since Rob would not move further until he had verifiable evidence of Lisa's plan. Although it was a risky game, Lisa was prepared to take the chance for Carla's benefit. Just before Carla was brought into surgery, Lisa hurried back to be with her after the contract was finalized. Carla's loved ones waited tensely as she was brought into the operation room, their anxieties growing with each minute that went by. Her only hope was surgery, but would it be sufficient? A doctor eventually returned with an update after what seemed like a lifetime. It had been a successful operation. Carla had survived, and the anesthesia was starting to wear off. Although her loved ones were relieved, there was still a hint of tension about the situation. Even though Carla could have made it through the surgery, the fallout from Rob and Lisa's agreement could have a significant impact. At this point, Rob had proof against Lisa that might ruin her career if it ever surfaced. It's only a question of time until the truth is out. Given Rob's history of manipulation and Lisa's career at stake, Lisa might lose everything if she is unable to remove that recording. Will Carla ever forgive Lisa for striking a deal with the devil to spare her life, even if she may have survived the procedure?